Now more than ever before, we need to lean into our connectivity. We need to embrace one another and get to know one another and spend time together, celebrate each other, empower one another. I've been saying this for a while, and it was great to hear a keynote speaker present on a similar topic at one of my recent conferences. She was talking about multi-generational workforces and how each generation has their strengths and weaknesses and how they think and perform in the workplace. She was coming in from a millennial perspective. She did a fantastic job. And one of the things that really resonated with me is she talked about connectivity. And regardless of what generation you're in, we all need to feel valued, heard, respected, connected. We need to feel like we belong to a greater purpose, a greater power, something more than us. And what she said is that, and it was a key takeaway that I took away, is that one of the simplest, easiest, but most effective things you can do is put away your phone, which seems so obvious, right? But she was very specific. She said, when you're in a meeting, whether it's in person or virtual or even in a conference, those first few minutes when everyone's on their phone, put the phone away and just talk to one another as a human being, not about work or the meeting, but just talk to one another. And so I actually tried this today, and it was a virtual meeting. We had one other person that showed up, and so it was just me and him, and we were talking, and then we were waiting on someone else. And so I tried it. I put away my phone. I was tempted to check email and just to check my messages. I asked him about his recent vacation, and he told me all about his fishing adventures. And y'all, I had no idea that deep sea fishing was so labor intensive. My goodness, I was blown away. And so I learned about that, and I learned about him. And even though fishing isn't like this revolutionary moment, we were building that foundation. We were building that relationship. And these relationships are going to be really important. That just rapport is going to be really important when you have conflict or you make a mistake. You need to ask for forgiveness or ask for a favor. Those really intense moments when work is hard or stressful, building those relationships and having that foundation is going to make those moments a little bit easier. And you might not be so concerned about asking for a favor or asking for forgiveness because you've been able to get them to know the other person on a human level. And it's hard for me. It's going to be hard for me, one, because I'm introverted and I don't participate in small talk very often, so I'm gonna have to push through that boundary. And the other thing is I'm going to have to be very intentional about my internal team. They're the ones who get the short end of the stick. It's easy to do with clients and colleagues, but we spend so much time together as an internal team, just talking and working and spending time together, that I don't always stop and just ask about them as a human. So I am challenging myself to put my phone away during meetings, regardless of what the meeting is, and especially focus extra attention on my internal team and getting to know them more on a human level. This is how I'm going to embrace and lean into my connectivity with the little bubble that I operate in. So what are you gonna do? How are you gonna lean into your connectivity? Are you gonna do the phone thing? Are you gonna do something else? Are you already doing something? You know I wanna hear from you. So leave your comments down below. Let me know what you're doing, what you're thinking about, what's working, what's not. I always appreciate when you take the time to do that. Thanks, y'all.